Welcome back, everybody, to Dash Read Creators Corner, the real Creators Corner. Except no imitations out there, ladies and gentlemen. No imitations. This is the real Creators Corner, and we got our special guest Ed today. Ed Davis is coming in. My good friend and the host of our show, First Impressions, where we're on every Wednesday night and stuff like that. So we'll talk that, but we're going to be talking. Has Hollywood lost its originality? And my wife came up with this question, and this is gonna break us down. But before we get into that, introduce yourselves, you guys. Go ahead, Ed.
Oh, so I guess I'm
Yeah.
Ed Davis. I am the creator of Finish Line Comics, where we have a few ongoing series, Corruptor and Immortal Era, as well as my new one-shot Floaters, and lots of new stuff on the horizon for this year. And yeah, lots of new indie comics will be coming out and coming your way.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just Chris, Laughing Rogue stuff. I make board games, novels, RPGs. Right now, I put up on the eBay store inventory clearance, one heck of a sale. You can get Gods of Metal or Gone Hunting for $8. So jump on out and grab those board games. Other than that, yeah, we're here on the Madness stuff pretty much all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, hanging out.
All three of us are on the Madness. So
right?
Find us on all our channels, our
Mhm.
shows, and so brought this up, and I've been on like 3 or 4 shows now that we've talked about this, and we rarely ever scratch the surface. So I'm hoping the 3 of us today can scratch the surface a little bit more. So I mean, we've known for a long time that people have said there's no originality. I'll bring up some examples, and we talked about it a little bit backstage, but we've got like a bunch of shows coming soon. So they're rebooting Rockford Files, they're rebooting X Files, they're rebooting Baywatch.
Scrubs is on right now.
Scrubs is back. We have, we're gonna have some spinoffs tonight. One spinoff tonight starting with from Yellowstone, and I don't know if that necessarily falls into it. So we'll
There's 8 million spinoffs from Yellowstone. It's turning into the new NCIS.
We'll bring that in, but so we got movies. We're getting reboots of movies lately. And so I want to know, because the reason I bring this up is because I think we've all done something original as far as our creation goes, whether it's board games like Chris does or his novels. Ed, you got Floaters, and you've got Immortal Era, and so these are all original creations for the most part. So my wife's question, so this will break us down into it. The question will be: hello, Iodell. The question is originality subjective? So I'll go to you, Chris, first. Originality is subjective. Yes or no?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, they say that every story has already been written, but it's the variations on them that make them original, right? Like we were talking Firefly. Firefly is just a Western, but they threw that Western in space. So it's not unoriginal. But it's still, I mean, it's derivative of a Western, but it's not something that was done poorly.
Right.
Like, well, even if you go straight reboots, people say Red Dawn, right? That was a reboot. There's a lot of them that were redone that are actually good, but so many more that were bad.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Nightmare on Elm Street reboot.
Yeah. The Fright Night one, you can throw that in there too.
I was gonna go there.
Yeah, either one is a safe bet to put in as poorly done reboots that didn't need to exist. And I think I could fill a ledger with all the poorly done reboots, and then you could fill maybe a Post-it note with the ones that did work.
All right, I agree with that. So Ed, what do you think? Is originality subjective, or is it more objective then, if that's the case?
I think it's more objective, and I think originality is it's more risky because Hollywood they are in the business of making money. And if something comes out and you can think of One Battle After Another, it's going to probably sweep the Oscars, but financially it's not going to be a success. And a movie like that, it's original. I mean, it comes from a book, but it's generally an unestablished IP. And they put a lot of money into it, they put a lot of star power into it, and even though it's Paul Thomas Anderson's most successful movie, it's not going to make a profit at the box office. And that's what happens. You get something original, you hand it to a director with a strong reputation, and you put in Academy Award winning actors left and right, and it doesn't make its money back. And then you rehash some bullshit like Snow White, and even though it's a flop, it's going to make its money because of streaming and everything else. And it's safe because Disney didn't have to pay any money for the IP. They already owned it. They own the characters. And safe is what Hollywood's going for. The safety of, we already have a built-in audience. We'll just rely on them to get us that money.
Well, I see that. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I think what you said was pretty important there. You said that they take the IP, and that's what I think a lot of Hollywood is these days, is just IP farming. But if you look at something like, now I've never watched the show, but Squid Games, highly original, real popular, probably done kind of cheap, and it made tons of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they could do it, but I think they're afraid to step away from the known factor, the known thing that'll bring the name recognition in.
Yeah, and that's not Hollywood. That's Hollywood grabbing somebody else that took the risk.
Right.
They let them take the risk. And you look at Black Mirror. That's another example of something original. And it was done in England. And then Netflix was just swooping in. They let someone else take the chance. They didn't take the risk. They banked on someone else's risk, as these shows had already been popular in their home countries. They had already been successful. So it was a minor gamble that they were taking, because they look and said, okay, Black Mirror's already getting good ratings. It's got, great reviews. Squid Game, same thing. So they just took it, and then they can shovel more money at it for later seasons.
Yep.
But they didn't have to take the chance. And, mining from other countries might be the way that they do it. Because look at, if you go back to the, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s, and it seemed like every Japanese horror movie was being remade out here.
Yeah.
It started with The Ring, and then it was just like, oh, let's make all the Japanese movies because they seem to do well, and you don't have to put much thought into it. You kind of tweak them a hair for an American audience, but you're going with something that already had huge success somewhere else.
Yeah, like the show that I consider the second worst of all time, The Office. That was originally a UK show.
So what's the first worst? I got to know that.
Friends, without a shadow.
Okay,
Friends.
And Friends is at least original. I mean, you can give it that. And they did try a spin-off, and it failed.
Yeah, they're all psychopaths in that show, but that's a whole different topic.
That's Friends. Yeah, Friends is a topic for another.
Yeah. You could do a whole show on that. And
you are right. The consensus that, like I said, I've been on a few shows where we've talked about that. The consensus is Hollywood is scared, and that is plain. That is you can't deny that, because if they weren't scared, let's look. Ed, you brought up the movie you were talking about. I can't think of it, but Everywhere All at Once, or whatever it was.
Everything. Oh no, the One Battle After Another.
One Battle After Another. Let's look at two of my favorite movies from 2025. F1, original for the most part. I mean, yes, we've had racing movies, but F1
we've never story.
Yeah, it had its own story. We had Sinners. Now, Sinners, you could say is there's arguments that it's just From Dusk Till Dawn all over again.
High art from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, but it was also supposed to be the the script for Blade.
Yep.
I love Sinners. I thought it was well done.
Mhm.
So we could, I mean, that's where you can kind of get into. Well, it was not but it was original in its own aspect. So those were some of my favorite movies. But then you look at some of the stuff that they're still doing. Whether I'm a huge Superman fan,
Mhm.
love Superman. I'm not going to deny that. It was kind of mediocre at the box office.
Mhm.
It didn't do anything. And I think a lot of the comic book movies are finding that they're not having that same level of success. And they can be good,
Yeah.
but I think the public is a bit tired of them, but they're also safe. DC owns the rights. It's kind of, you know what, we better make another Superman movie so we can establish this whole universe. And then Marvel is just, they're grasping as
Yeah.
well, because they're thinking, we'll just put everyone that everyone likes into the movie so that people might go see it. Like, hey, you like X-Men? We'll put them in. You like these guys? We'll put them in. And it just becomes a desperate thing where you get characters who they gave these great endings to, like, oh no, pull him out. We need Captain America back.
Mhm.
Right.
And we're going to need, even though it's, it's not Iron Man technically, we need Robert Downey Jr. back. And they're just pulling back the things that worked, because when they've tried new things, it hasn't worked for them.
Well, when does it become unsafe then? Like we said, when they start losing money on these big Fantastic Four, whatever you name it, it's at some point that's got to become unsafe, right? You can't start losing money on it.
Well, that's the problem. They've gone for spectacle instead of story. Everything is, you think of a Marvel movie, it's just a big CGI fight at the end. That's pretty much what everything is. Whereas instead, if they would have taken Falcon and the Winter Soldier and made it an actual spy show with the Riggs Murtaugh style of buddy cop thing that they had going, that thing could have been good.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they had to have all this extra that wasn't needed.
Yeah, and they've become so formulaic
Mm-hmm.
that the top directors aren't going to want to touch them, because they know they're not going to have any creativity in that.
Right.
The creative freedom is stolen away. And look what happened with Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
When you had, oh gosh, I'm forgetting, from Shaun of the Dead, he was going to be the director, and then they just started stripping away all of his freedoms, and he fired, quit kind of thing.
Yep.
And when you start getting those things where it's like, no, you must adhere to the formula and shove in an appearance by this character so that we can set up the next movie.
Mhm.
Directors don't want to do that, because it's just dull formula stuff. And granted, you're going to have a lot of money to play around with it, and that's why they brought the Russo brothers back, because it's kind of like, you know what, they're happy in that toy box, let them play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's bring up the Russos have done a couple of things recent. They just did this one called The Bluff, pirate movie. It's on, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon. But I give them an A for originality, because it's a pirate movie, because we don't get much pirate. I mean, what was the last one? One
Something
of the
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, one
I'm
of the
sure.
Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean. But the formula is the same. And that's what I posted the other day. I'm like, you gave me originality, but you kept the same formula. You kept the formula of that the hero knows everything already.
Yep.
Mhm.
And there's no real problems that they face. I'll just say it. Priyanka Chopra, she already knew everything, and where they ruined it for me is they made her look like she didn't know what she was doing, but the whole time she did. I would have much rather them just do she knows everything already, than to make her feel like she's a weak person, and then she just knows all this stuff again. That made no sense to me, and that's that formula that's, for me, that has cost me to liking a lot of Hollywood movies lately. That I get it. That's what people are happy, or what's comfortable, but you're not, in the long run, you're going to start alienating your audience, and I think that's what superhero movies have done.
They've
They
reached
started-
that point, I'd say. Definitely with Marvel and DC. And now DC's trying to launch a full universe, and already the first movie didn't set the box office on fire like they wanted, and they're spending, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars to make these movies, where now they need to make $1 billion worldwide to break even. And you're setting them up where it used to be $1 billion was a monstrous success. Now it's your line to get even, and you don't generally get beyond that, because what used to happen was you would have you'd make $1 billion at the box office, and then you'd go and rake in a whole bunch more money when people are going and buying the Blu-rays and the DVDs, but they're not doing that anymore.
Mhm.
And they're not even going to pay for it on streaming. They'll wait for it to be free, because what's it going to take? Another month? And you got to pay $20 for it if you want it in January, but if you're willing to wait till February, it's on Disney Plus. So people won't drop that money, where before the streamers kind of took over all of television, people would rush out on the first day to get those DVDs and Blu-rays. They might have missed it at the box office, but they were going to get it into their house, and they were going to own it. And it's a dying formula. That doesn't happen anymore.
So let me ask this. Do you think it's that people are getting sick of the IPs and the reboots, or do you think it's that they don't understand how to write characters anymore? They only understand how to write set piece moments. Oh, I think this would be cool. This would be cool, but there's no character behind it. There's nothing interesting to hold.
Go ahead. Let me answer. Yes. I think 100. Well, 98% of it is they don't know how to write character anymore. Because I really do think if they knew how to write character, we would get more original stuff. I do, and I'm not saying that there's not great writers out there. Somebody's going to come jump in the comments later and give me a 3-page essay on why I'm wrong. But it's not that there's not good writers out there. Is there lack of writing? Absolutely. There's lack of writing. It's there's no substance to character building anymore. I'm going to pick on it, and I know somebody's going to come jump on me, but I'm going to take it. The Acolyte is a prime example of rehashing a story. The Acolyte could have been fantastic had they not tried to recreate the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did. I mean, let's be honest. That's what they did.
And I didn't watch it, so I can't comment on that. But I think with good writers, a lot of these good writers are handcuffed with what they're allowed to do, because
that's on the studio.
They're working for a corporation, and a corporation has expectations, and they're not allowed to just kind of spread their wings, because Disney is, when it all comes down to it, a very cowardly company when it comes to their IP. They want it to be a certain way, and they are not willing to diverge. And when you had kind of the sequel trilogy in Star Wars, you had Episode 8, and it was polarizing. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but it tried something different. And as soon as the Reddit crowds shit all over the movie, they got paranoid, and they wrote a complete fan service pile of garbage for Episode 9, because they thought, we tried something a little bit different. People hated it, so you know what? Never mind, we're going to give them what they want. And now that's all we get is what we want. And is that what's best for the people? No, but you know what? You demanded it, and Disney has no guts, so they're just going to give it to you.
I think you brought up that's the problem. Reddit is a minority of the voice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you might have all these subreddits, great, but I guarantee you there's more what I call the normies. The normies are the people that are not on social media, they're not on these all these fan sites. Those are the normies. There's more normies than there are social media people.
Mm-hmm.
So majority,
but the ones who are heard are the ones that are barking on every social media. You name it, Facebook. I mean, we're not really Instagram as much, because that's just more picture based, but Facebook, Twitter or X, and Reddit. And I mean, if you look at all the things people complained about with Episode 8, they fixed all of them and gave them exactly what they wanted for Episode 9. And what you got was an incoherent mess. and it
Somehow you got somehow Palpatine returned as well.
Yeah. Oh, he's a clone, and guess what? Rey's not a nobody. She's a Palpatine. It's like, wait, when was he getting down, dude? He was all fucking crazy wrinkle, dude. He was not scoring with women. I can just say that.
It was a hut.
It was a hut.
Palpatine's a pimp. Who knew it?
Yep.
But
That wasn't his
my
lightsaber.
my problems with the sequel trilogy, that's another whole show in itself, because, and I won't get into too much of it, but you did try to create something new, but if you could have done the Admiral Holdo slingshot from light space, then you could have done that in all of the movies, and you didn't even have to worry about sacrificing all your fighter pilots and everything. You could have just had one kamikaze X-wing pilot,
Even
jump
on
to the light
remote.
speed, and then flip out of it and fly through the Death Star, and you wouldn't have to worry about the. So I think they wrote themselves trying to sound cool. They tried to give us a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense. So that's what that's some of my issues with the when you got Mary Poppins, Leia, some of those things that just took me right out of the story. So,
Well,
I agree.
We used to have the originals. I mean, you had things like Demolition Man, the original Terminator. You had The Color Purple, When Harry Met Sally. Now they're just too afraid to try these things because, like you said, they now cost, and it's their own fault that it costs $300, $400, $500 million to make a movie.
Yeah.
You know, they could have done John Wick for what, $20 million? He's just walking through a corridor shooting people in the face. I don't know what
the first one wasn't that expensive,
right? But the later ones we kept.
But that's the thing is, they do make something original, and then they said, "Oh, that worked. Do that more." Like, how many Game of Thrones spin-offs are we going to get? That fucking guy hasn't even finished writing the books, and we're getting more Game of Thrones spin-offs. Now, in all fairness, I haven't watched any of the Game of Thrones spin-offs, and they might be amazing, but it just makes me laugh because George Martin he'll do everything in his power besides write that book.
Write The Winds of Winter. I agree. Yes.
Like, am I going to finish The Wings of Winter? No, I got another HBO series in development, and they just sent me another truckload of money. So fuck you guys. You hated my ending. You'll never get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I asked that question. I asked that question on every show. I feel like we'll never get anything from George.
Yes.
I don't. I mean, we'll get
GTA 6.
Yeah,
I don't even know if we'll get GTA 6 either. I mean, we'll probably get Man Walking on Mars before we get GTA 6 and Winds of Winter.
Yes.
But
the questions remain. Which will come first? Yeah. All right, a new Tool album.
yes, that will happen.
A new Tool album, because they're saying, "Oh, next year." I'm like, they said next year for as long as George Martin was saying, next year for the book. But Tool did beat him. They actually managed to put a new album out between. But yeah, we have the GTA 6, the new Tool album, and the Winds of Winter. Who will win that race? Vegas. What are the odds? I'd go 100 to 1 that it's not gonna be George Martin. So maybe if the odds go up that heavy, he can just go put a bunch of money down and get richer.
I'm sure that bet is already out there. Yeah. Vegas bets on everything. So so Chris, you brought up a good point earlier. It's kind of leads
I don't
me
usually do that.
No, I know. I can't believe you brought up a good point. You brought up that inspiration, and this is the second part of my wife's question is the inspiration. What part of it is, or where do we separate inspiration from originality? Like you said, we can have Firefly, we can have a Western, but we become Firefly. Now it's in space. Where do because I get a lot of kickback from this. You're like when I say this book is inspired, well, that's not very original. So I want to get some authors and creators' perspective on this. And Chris, where does the line between originality and inspiration end?
If you are able to change your characters' names to your inspiration, and there's no difference in the story, that's where it ends. So in other words, if I did a killer robot book and it was almost exactly like the Terminator, except for the names. Well, I might be inspired by the Terminator, but I'm blatantly ripping it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to, I can't think of what the name of it is because I'm losing my mind. But anyway, if you did, even if you had a killer robot versus plucky human survivors, you can make it work as long as you give your own unique spin on it and don't ever make anything like Battlefield Earth, because that's an abomination to God.
Agreed.
But that's a Scientology thing. That was going to happen whether we wanted it or not, because there was a whole cult of religious people who needed to see that movie exist, even though it's based on a nearly incoherent book.
Mhm.
But that's their dude, that's L. Ron Hubbard, and they're going to make everything. And I hope they're not on my doorstep right now.
I wonder if they
Am I going to have a bag of shit outside my door?
I wonder if they walk into the Scientology church, look up at L. Ron Hubbard, go, "That's my dude."
Yeah.
Now I need to know. But no, you're right. I agree on we would get something exactly like Battlefield Earth.
Yeah,
Um,
and again, take Jake Bishop has Sam Spade, has Indiana Jones elements, but it's changed enough so that it's its own unique beast.
right.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think, like you were saying earlier, nothing is going to be fully original.
Mhm.
But what can you do to bring your own take on it? I'm writing a long form story that's all based on immortality. Am I the first person to write a book about immortality? Absolutely not. But what kind of twist can I give immortality to make it different, to make it unique to my own vision?
Flying
and that's
severed
the thing.
heads.
Yeah, well, always severed heads, of course. But what can you do? Because people are going to, and inevitably they come up to your table like, yeah, this reminds me of, fill in the blank. And I go, oh, yeah, I got my inspiration from Jonathan Swift and Gulliver's Travels. I only steal from the best, so please leave me alone.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you have, if you're talking immortality, you have things like, well, Highlander.
Mhm.
That's usually the one people go to at first. But then you have books like Red Coat,
Mhm.
right? That guy's still immortal, but he's only immortal when he's on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
And then, so it's these different spins that you put on it. So just because you have elements of something that's already been done. Again, time travel's been done to death, but the one with Jet Li is still freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Time Cop. I don't care. Time Cop.
Yeah.
I will give you Time Cop.
You can always have a good new vampire movie. Vampires
Exactly.
have been done to death, but there's always room for a new and good vampire movie. Anything
As long as
can
they
be
don't
done.
sparkle, I'm all right.
If you,
Yeah.
the thing is, you basically, they were able to sell vampires to teenage girls and succeed. We could take some of that money, and that's, it's still just vampires and werewolves and the same basic premise we've seen, and it works. And that's the thing, whether you like it or not, it's something original with that, established villain, that established monster. There's plenty of good stories to tell with werewolves, with vampires, with mummies, you name it. Just, let's see something that's not just, let's remake the Mummy instead of, or let's remake Dracula, because there's a Dracula movie in the theater right now. So
yeah,
it's not going away.
So one, the only thing I wanted to see in Twilight was Blade. But two, they did just remake the Mummy, and it's something about this girl was kidnapped, and I only saw a little bit in the trailer, but the girl was kidnapped and turned into or possessed by.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I think their spin is it's set in modern time. If I'm
modern time. So it looks kind of interesting. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'm not averse to it.
Yeah, they just did. They're redoing Bride of Frankenstein. It's got a different
yeah,
name, but it's
and it
Bride
looks
of Frankenstein.
Yeah, I think it's the Bride, and they're making it look like kind of a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing. So that's the thing. If you're gonna tell the same story, let's see it different. Give a new spin to it, because even the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, it's telling it more related to the book, which got done as well. We had the one with Robert De Niro in it. And it's trying to be more faithful to the book, but in the end, it's something different. And those monsters aren't going anywhere. Well, the core monsters are going to be so popular, we're going to see them over and over again. But can we get something new at least? And I think that's what we're really craving, because the Marvel formula, people are going to get tired of it. And honestly, I'm going to say it right now, people are going to get tired of the James Gunn formula that's going to go through DC, because already the Supergirl trailer looks like the James Gunn formula, even though he's not directing it. Just like Zack Snyder, you can feel his hands all over it. And Zack Snyder didn't have to direct the movie for it to have a shit ton of horrible slow-mo, and it you just knew his hands were on it. And we're going to get that kind of quirky comedy in every DC movie. We don't need that. Some need to be a different tone, and we don't need universal tone. And Marvel's kind of gone into universal tone, and DC looks to be following the same path.
And I liked what you said. You brought up the mafia stuff, and I'm not going to get into the mob movies, but people were getting tired of the Hulk, right? So they brought in Joe Fixit. And then they tried with Starship Hulk, which was horrifyingly bad. But then they got in the Infernal Hulk, which is, pretty good from what I hear. So yeah, I think having lasting things needs to change. And that's not what they're doing. They're doing this. They're trying to do the same formula over and over and over again, and just failing horribly at it. Again,
I would have much rather have had a new Doctor Doom than for you to bring me back
RDJ.
RDJ. I'm telling you. Listen, people get mad at me, but I'm going to tell you straight up, it's going to be a flop, because they're going to need to make damn near $2 billion. For
it's going to be in that Avatar territory.
And it may.
I think it could pull that off, honestly, because they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this movie, and you can already see it's going to have like 17 hold for applause moments for when you see it in the theater. They'll just play very awkwardly when you're watching it at home. Like, why is it holding for 5 seconds when he's standing there in silhouette? And they're going for this. And the thing that will make or break this movie is, does it have that replay factor where you love it so much you want to go see it in the theater again? Because that's what makes the Marvel movies. When you look at the Endgame, it was huge because people wanted to see it more than once. They wanted to experience it
2 or 3
more
times.
than once. And that's what they need. Everyone will go see it once. All the Marvel fanatics will go see it once. They'll applaud as every, new character gets tossed onto the screen. But I think what will really make or break it is someone like me going to say, I need to go and see this one a second time, a third time. I got to take my dad to this movie because I know he's going to love it. And that's what can make this movie into a success, instead of just it'll dominate for 2 or 3 weeks at the box office and then disappear and then hold for Disney Plus.
And that's why those original Marvel movies did that, because people were going back after but this is why Fantastic Four failed. This is why Captain America, the newest one,
The Brave New World,
because nobody's going back for a second time.
You see it once and you're content.
You're and then you wait. You make your money on the second and third and sometimes fourth viewings of these things.
Yeah, since nobody's buying the Blu-rays anymore. That's the thing, is it used to be you'd see it once, maybe twice, then you'd go rush out, you'd buy the Blu-ray, and now you own it. And if they do a re-release in the theater, you're like, I got to go watch this again. Like, they just dropped Lord of the Rings into the theaters again. I'm like, I can go watch some Lord of the Rings in the theater again, even though I own the box sets and everything. I'll go watch it again. I'll go drop that money for the 8th time to go watch more Lord of the Rings. And the newer Marvel movies don't even have a 2-time replay factor, where I haven't even watched them for free on Disney Plus after they came out.
Yeah.
How many times? I mean, it's at least once a year. Many theaters are doing Rocky Horror retrospectives. I mean,
we have one here that shows it every Friday night.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
At midnight, Friday night, Saturday morning. Every Friday night, every Saturday morning, there's a Rocky Horror Picture Show retrospective. They go in there, they dress up, they do their thing, they watch it, they make their money. So, yeah, that's one of those. Rocky Horror Picture will always be one of those, what's the word I'm looking for?
Perennial favorites?
Yeah, but it's that one-time favorite where everybody's gonna go watch it.
Yeah, and it's an anomaly because
anomaly. That's the word I was looking for.
it flopped hard in the box office when it
Mhm.
came out. It got second life, and a lot of movies. I mean, you get those cult classics that get second lives, but not
Evil
many,
Dead.
like Rocky Horror Picture Show, where its second life is being played all throughout the country, at least once a month somewhere.
Right.
Because I could search around and find a cinema playing it somewhere in the LA area, probably next weekend, without much difficulty. And movies don't generally have legs like that unless they become all-time cult favorites. But Marvel doesn't need them to be that. They just need people to go see them, once or twice, or at least twice, I would say, in the theater. They need the ones
twice
to love it enough. Because a lot of them, the problem is you see them once and you're swept up in the crowd. The hold for applause moments, you're right in there with them. And then you do, and I generally will wait because the money to get into a theater is expensive enough that I'd rather go see something new for a second time unless I'm truly blown away. But then when you do watch it at home later, you're thinking, I was kind of swept in the spectacle of this. It wasn't as good as what I remember.
What's hurting is they're front loaded. That the premiere and probably that first weekend are front loaded with all the Marvel fans.
Oh yeah, it's gonna blow out for 2 weekends. It's gonna be huge.
But where you need to succeed is weekend 3, weekend 4, weekend 5. You need to be the number one movie for 2 months in a row.
Yeah,
and that's the only way you're going to get that $2 billion. I'm afraid. Yeah, sure, they're probably going to make half a
it'll
bill.
make $1 billion for sure.
They'll make a $500 million in that first weekend. I'm almost positive they'll make a $500 million, but you have to have longevity. And I don't see any movies. That's been my problem with cinema since 2019. Cinema has not been good since 2019 for me. This is a dash perspective, a dash opinion. Don't come in there and attack anybody else for my opinion. But 29 movies have not been good. There's nothing that openly makes me want to go to the movie theaters now. Nothing. There's nothing, and that's a testament to the originality and to what Hollywood's been putting out lately, in my opinion.
Yeah, like a friend and I went to go see Avatar when it first came out, right? Because they had that hype all built up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know Ed doesn't know. I don't know if you know, Dash, that I'm a Cyclops. Okay, yes. I'm blind on this side, so I can't see the 3D.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing that got me was the story. I mean, at the end of this movie, and I swear to God, this happened, everybody was clapping.
Mm-hmm.
I looked around and I said, this is just Dances with Wolves with Smurfs.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody was pulled in by the cool 3D effect.
Yeah, that's all spectacle. All the Avatar movies are just shiny, pretty, hollow. And that's where it lies, and that's what sells.
Yeah,
but his movies also cost so much to make that shiny, pretty, hollow isn't gonna make them $2 billion. Because people will see it once and then they don't want to go sit for 3.5 hours again. Whereas, I mean, I think when Fellowship of the Ring came out, I saw that thing like 3 times in the theater.
Yep.
And it was 3 hours and I did not care. I was down to drop that 3 hours. I saw Pulp Fiction 12 times in the movie theater. Didn't care about its length because I just wanted to see it again. And, that's a great movie will do that. And I think where you were saying, Dash, that there haven't been good movies, I think the mainstream hasn't been putting out good movies. I think there's good stuff in the underground. There always is. Yeah. And that's my same argument with music. For the people who say there's no good music, you're just not looking. You got to dig in the wormholes to find the good stuff, because what's hiding on the surface is not going to be the best, but there's always good stuff. But the best of the stuff is now a lot of times being relegated straight to streaming. We're not even getting them a chance. We're not even giving them a chance to have a theatrical run.
That's where I was getting ready to say my double-edged sword is I like streaming's fine, but I think it takes away from Hollywood. But then in turn, just like you said, some of the best movies that I did see were straight only streaming movies.
Mm-hmm.
You need to, if Hollywood wants to succeed and get back to where they're going, because let's be honest, Hollywood's kind of
Yeah, it's tail spinning right
it is
now.
tail spinning. You need to get out. You need to get away from streaming only movies and put them back in the theaters. You want butts in the seat. You got to keep it, because I feel like theaters are going to be just a niche thing here in a few years. It's going to be, they're showing a replay of Revenge of the Sith. Let's go check it out, because that's what it's going to be. It's not
And they're already renting the theaters out for birthday parties and things like that. They don't even run a full slate of movies. You can say, okay, well, up until 1 o'clock, you can rent the movie out for a birthday party, because what used to be every screen was full and the house was packed is not happening. And we were looking at going to see the new Scream movie. There's plenty of seats available for every showing, which means, okay, everyone's going to wait when it hits Paramount Plus. They'll all watch it, but they're not rushing out to the theaters to see it again. And I think that's where it lives, is the wait for streaming mentality is big. It's kind of like in the comics world, the wait for the trade mentality, and it's going to crush Hollywood by doing that.
They think, I don't have to pay all this money. Listen, you're not going to have any money. You're not going to have any movies anymore. If you keep waiting for it to go to streaming, gone. They're not going to be able to afford to do this anymore. Because, and I know a lot of people are going to, I'm getting ready to hurt some feelings, and the best thing to happen to Warner Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, was Skydance and Paramount or buying them. That is the best, because what you're still going to be able to do. I don't care about anything else. Don't bring your bullcrap BS politics into my stream. It was the best thing for it. Here it is. We're probably still going to start be able to get physical media again from some of these movies that WB owns, or that Paramount owns, because if it went to Netflix, you could forget anything coming to physical media.
Yeah, you'll never be able to buy it again.
Right. You forget it. So physical media can still have a shot in there. Two, they just one of the things I just read, they're going to have at least 45 movies per year from this merger. That is a good thing. Did they pay a lot of money for it? Sure they did. And are they both, is WB and Paramount kind of both in the sync right now? Absolutely. But if this works, it is a huge payoff. Like I said, they bring out the 30th anniversary we're getting of Lord of the Rings. It should be what? Yeah, 30th anniversary should be coming up soon. You bring that and you put it back onto a DVD, and you add some cool things to it, some behind the scenes footage that's never been seen or something like that. That's money that they're going to make for that. And so I went off on my rant there. I'm sorry, but
no, I was going to bring up that exact same thing. That Paramount buying it instead of Netflix it is going to help it, because if I can bring 7 or 10 people here to watch a movie on streaming, that's 7 or 10 people not buying a ticket,
right?
And gosh, where was I going? I had something. I'll try to remember, but it was What was your last thing? Because
you want first run movies, and that is what that is what Paramount and WB are going to do. They're going to give you first run movies again. They're going to put movies back in the theaters and not worry about streaming movie or the original streaming movies on those platforms. You don't need it, because you can do your Yellowstone spinoffs. You can do your Game of Thrones spinoffs. That's all you need to have on those streaming platforms. And then the movies that we had as a kid. I don't want to have to be able to go on to a search engine and go, all right, you Netflix, I'm looking for this movie, and now I have to go find it from a freaking use a VPN to some other country to watch it, because you don't have it on there. That's my problem.
And I don't know if you remember from way back when, but it would be one, we didn't really know about movies coming out, so when they finally showed up in theaters, that was usually my first exposure that they even existed.
Yeah.
And then they would stay in the theaters for a month, 2 months, 3 months at a time. And then it was another 9 months to a year until it came out on VHS. I bought Superman 2 weeks after it came out.
Say now it's weeks. It's so the turnaround is so quick, and it doesn't give you that wanting that oh my gosh, we have to go see this again. Like I remember begging my parents to drop me off at the theater so I could see Ghostbusters another time, so I could see Gremlins another time. And
there's no FOMO at all.
It wasn't, oh, well, we just wait till it comes out on VHS because it'll be out in a couple weeks. Like, no, they know it could be another year. And really, it's not just another year. It's another year to when it got taken out of the theater. So it's going to be, it's not 9 months after it's released. It's 9 months after it's pulled in. A movie with legs like Ghostbusters, that's going to run in the theaters for 6 months.
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
Usually it was only available for rent at first.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't buy it unless you had $100 to drop.
Right. And then months after it was out for rent, then you might be able to get it for $25, $30.
Previously viewed.
Exactly.
Yep. Previously viewed. There's no FOMO anymore. And I think that theaters have to work on FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have to work on FOMO.
And I think with James Cameron, what we were talking about, it's hollow and it's empty, but it does create a theatrical experience that is exclusive to the theater. The spectacle of Avatar is going to be lost on my screen in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to have that immersive, like you're sitting. I mean, you have the eye issue, Chris, but for the general movie-going public, if you want to see it in its proper way on a giant IMAX screen, in the immersive 3D, where you can forget that it's a garbage story, that is a theatrical experience. And that's something that they need to build again. And not just by selling us 3D, because that shit, they tried that already. And then every fucking thing was, let's retrofit it to 3D. And it wasn't supposed to be 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So all it did was look like the 2D version of the movie. So I think experiences like Avatar are the way to do it, and Leica's really good at that as well. Leica, if you got a chance to see Coraline when it came out in its 3D original, it was something beautiful because these are 3D models. They had depth and they meant to make it 3D. So we need movies, things like that are what are going to get people fearing that they're going to miss out, because nobody's going to want to stream Avatar when it comes out. It is not the kind of movie that says, oh, stream me because I want to see, the great story. You're wanting to watch the spectacle and the beauty he creates on that screen in 3 dimensions, with the sound all around you. Because Tron Ares, as much as I didn't love it, it was loud and wild, and in the theater, if you love Nine Inch Nails, it's like a Nine Inch Nails concert right in your ears. So that, that's the selling point. That's probably why they were desperate to get Nine Inch Nails to do it. Because we need something good. We hired Jared Leto. What the heck was wrong with us?
See, Carrie, and I want to bring up that this is, Carrie's piggybacking on what we're saying and kind of doing the same thing. The movie theater experience is it's lost on current generations. You're absolutely right. As a kid, it was exciting to go to a movie, have some popcorn. And there's just they're right, Carrie. There is no excitement anymore for my parents would take me to the movie theaters all the time because something new was coming. We'd be walking in the mall and my dad would just happen to see, oh, there's a cool movie that we haven't seen. Let's go. That doesn't happen anymore. There's nothing I want to take my little girls to go see. The last one we went to go see was Dog Man. That was a year ago. I want my kids to have that experience, but when there's nothing that really, and we're going to talk about Disney here going back to their roots, hopefully here before too long, but there's nothing I want to take my girls to.
And that's what I was going to bring up. There is no more Mallrats experience. Right. And I don't mean the movie Mallrats.
No, I know what you're saying.
We used to hang out at the mall. Then the next thing you do is you go see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have malls anymore.
Yeah, the malls are dying. And then you would also, you'd be in the mall with no intention to see a movie and be like, hey, there's one that starts in 15 minutes. Let's see it.
Yep.
And you would go for the sake of just seeing a movie.
Yeah.
You didn't need to know what it was. And sometimes I discovered some really good movies that I love because I happened to be walking the mall and it started in the next 10 minutes. I mean, that's how I found Memento.
Yeah.
I just happened to be, we were at a mall and I saw that. I'm like, oh, I've heard good things about that. Let's go. And my wife was like, yeah, cool. Let's go see it. Did she see the trailer? Did she know anything about it? No, but it was just, there was a movie. I'd heard a couple good things. We went to see it and we went to go see it the next weekend again because we loved it. And that's Lost, where the milling around and, oh, this starts in 15 minutes. Let's just go and do it. That's a dead art. Like the kids don't understand that whole experience.
We're in the TLDR generation, and that's sad. And because and I'm not going to harp on social media, but social media and things like that have made wanting to see movies and everything, because somebody's going to spoil it anyways. One of these sites is going to spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of brings it, back to another good thing, that your parents took you and it was real event and experience. You went to school the next day to talk about it. That doesn't happen anymore. No, there's, and if they are talking about it, it's, my son does it. My son goes to the movies and he'll come home and it's
Yeah, but you know what I think? The Minecraft movie was a good example of something that got them excited.
Right.
And I think this is one of the biggest issues with Hollywood is we're not giving kids their own passions. We're trying to shove our passions down their throats. We're saying, I like Smurfs as a kid. You should like the Smurfs too. And you're going to watch that. And I like Ninja Turtles. You should watch Ninja Turtles.
Guilty.
No, we don't give a shit about Minecraft, and they love it. And that movie did huge numbers in the box office with theaters full of kids and teenagers whose parents dropped them off, like my parents used to do, because they didn't want to see the shit I wanted to see.
Yeah.
But they're like, I'll drop you off so you can see Ghostbusters for a 5th time because I saw it once and I'm good. But the fact that the kids got passionate about that, and even, Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's another anomaly.
That's the things. I don't think it's an anomaly. I think it's just we're trying to force feed them our loves. And we're not giving them the things they love. And if we did more of that, because even the Mario movies, like, hey, we like Mario. We played Mario as a kid. You will like it. And we need to give them the things that are theirs and belong primarily and only to them. And I think we'll see more excitement from those kids, because that was something that none of my kids said, oh, I'm going to wait for streaming to watch the Minecraft movie, because they wanted to experience the insanity that those theaters became. And that's what we need more of. Give the kids what they love, or build them something new, like Frozen, which was a new thing for them to latch onto. Quit trying to force feed them our shit. They don't care. They don't want it.
But that's why I say it was an anomaly, because they are forced. The writers, the millennials, or whoever's in charge of Hollywood now, that's what they're doing. They're trying to bring nostalgia back. These kids don't want nostalgia. We do, and we're fine. Give me the nostalgia on Tubi. Give me the nostalgia on that's I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But in movies, I don't want nostalgia. I want new. I want original. I want something that I can be excited to take my kids about. Just like Ed said, I want my kids to be excited about Minecraft. I mean, my girls are excited about the new Mario movie because they love Mario.
Yeah, and mine played it too growing up. Right. So that's something I guess it kind of bridges, but so much of it is just us giving them what we want and what we want more of, because they're not passionate about what we're passionate about. And when there's a new Masters of the Universe movie coming out, the kids do not care. They don't give two shits about He-Man and Trapjaw and Beastman. We're the ones getting all giddy, like, ooh, I saw a little glimpse of Trapjaw. Hell yeah, he's gonna be in it. But
my daughters are happy about it because
that's us. That's not them, and they're gonna send me and my wife on our own to go see that movie. And just like I sent them on their own to go see the Minecraft movie. I was like, okay, I will drop you off at the theater and I will let you enjoy what you love, because I don't want to see that shit. It looks repulsive, but that's okay. This movies I liked as a kid, my dad thought they were repulsive too. The music I started to love, he didn't love it, but that's okay. It's got to be what they are. And we're doing with music too. Like, here, you should love the Rolling Stones because they're old and we say you should. And it's not theirs, and they don't care and they don't own it. And if without ownership, we're never going to get kids running to the theaters over and over again, because they were seeing that Minecraft movie 3 or 4 times so they could yell out at those specific scenes. And my daughter was filming all the stuff that was going down, and it was beautiful to see them having so much fun. I mean, granted, they were acting like dicks, and the teacher in me would have been losing my mind in that theater, but that's okay. That's why I dropped her off.
Lori, we'll get to this. We're going to get to this comment here in a minute, Lori. But Chris, you had something.
But yeah, that's why the kids gravitated more towards Lego Batman, Teen Titans Go, things like that instead of
theirs.
And I mean, I like them too, but
I guess Batman's everyone's. He's been forever. Certain things go forever. I mean, but when you look at Smurfs, that was all ours, and it didn't need as many movies as we've had, and they just keep making them because it's just, I guess it's that going back to it's safe. And but none of my kids have ever said, let's go see the new Smurfs movie. They've never begged me to go see that, and that's what we need is our kids begging us to see something, whatever it may be.
Let's take this comment from Lori here. They won't take risks because they want guaranteed butts in this, but that's the problem. They're not getting the butts in the seats even without taking risks.
Safety's not working.
The safety's not working for them. It is absolutely I like when we get disagrees. But it's not working. That's why Hollywood is in a total downslide. The money is not the money from ticket sales is not paying off what Marvel is spending in CGI and bringing back 962 actors to Endgame, or not Endgame, but Doomsday.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to. People get mad at me because I say it's going to be a flop. It's going to be a flop because they're going to have to make $2 billion to pay everybody, to pay off CGI, to pay off marketing and everything. That is not good. I should not have to make $1 billion or $2 billion for me to say it's a good movie. Because if you only make 500, if you only make that 1 billion, like we said earlier, that should be a testament to a good movie. But nowadays it's not, because we want to spend money on crap. We want to spend money on bringing back actors that don't need to be in the movie. So they do need to take chances, and that's what we're talking about. But yeah, they do need to take chances. And then we have Nem. I'm going to get some of these comments out of the way before we get back. Nem says, I kind of disagree. I grew up loving stuff from my parents' time. I love Sinbad, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, 50s Superman, etc. It seems to me that the kids today love to dump on us. I'll let you guys answer that, but I'm kind of with them. I liked all the stuff that my dad did, but I'm gonna kind of be devil's advocate to your comment, Nem, and the fact that when we were growing up, we had 3 to 4 channels.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of had to be stuck.
We watched all that stuff.
Right. We kind of had to be stuck with Sinbad and Buck Rogers.
But we got our own stuff too.
Right. But we did.
It wasn't like, okay, imagine if we grew up and the only thing we got was new Sinbad remakes, new Buck Rogers remakes, new Flash Gordon remakes, and new Superman remakes, and nothing that was ours to claim. I mean, loving the old and the new is great. Like my daughter's favorite movie is Spaceballs, and that's not her era, but she watches that with my wife. We went to the theater when they did one of those Fathom events. So she can love that old thing, but also love her new thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where we could love what our parents loved. I would watch Twilight Zone with them. Every Thanksgiving we'd tune in for the Twilight Zone marathon. And that was something my dad loved, but we got our own loves, our own things to latch on to, not just imagine in the 80s where everything was just remaking what was in the 50s and 60s.
Yep. I want to bring up another good question. We have a YouTuber that goes out and makes a great movie. Yeah, and I think it is a great movie. Iron Lung is fantastic. The problem is no one in the theaters is giving him any love. He had to go out and beg and plead to get in theaters, and they finally let him in.
And he had enough money to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the problem is for him, he's an indie guy. He's a YouTuber. He's an indie guy. But he had his money because he was a video game YouTuber that kind of moved into filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
I give him all the credit. I think the guy's is a phenomenal talent. but he had to. I think he had to do a Kickstarter and some other things to just try to get into theaters, and then finally just like I'm gonna. But that shouldn't be that way. That's the problem.
And it did make money, and he made his budget back tenfold.
Tenfold.
So and that's because again, that's my kids both went to go see that movie because they are passionate about about that creator. They were telling me, oh, he made a movie and this and that, and I think that's great because that's what they need more of, is stuff that they can latch onto. And then maybe like Nem was saying, like I watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movies with my kid. I took my daughter to see it. We enjoyed it. I haven't seen the second one, and she told me it was crap. So when your daughter who loves the franchise tells you it's crap, then you wait for streaming. But she didn't go with me. We went for the first one, but she didn't go with me to the second one because she wanted to go with a group of her friends. And that's what I loved about when I was a kid, just going with a group of friends to see a movie that we have every belief is going to be amazing. And sometimes they suck, so we just talk shit on the way out. But it's that experience. Yeah. We aren't upset that we went to the movie. It just takes a turn, and you get to have that thing of, oh my gosh, making fun of bad acting and making fun of bad special effects. And it was still part of the experience. And I'm glad to see that there are movies that my daughter wants to go see with a big group of friends, so that they can either talk how much they love it or talk shit on the way out. Because one of the two things are going to happen, because that's what we did, and it was a great part of everything.
Good, Chris.
But yeah, we don't have the summer blockbuster season anymore because they're releasing movies all over the year in order to try to spread out the when can you spend money, or when are you spending money the least. For instance, like we used to have Jurassic Park, like you said, Ghostbusters, and all this other stuff. But now these days, when they're doing the same movie over and over and over again, it's just there's nothing else to it. It's rehashed. Like I went to see Ghostbusters. What is it? The 2016 one?
Yeah, whatever. I saw all the reboot ones as well. Right.
And just like you said, we went because of the spectacle thing, and when we left, we were laughing about how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Jurassic Park ones. The new ones aren't good.
But people went and saw it because people went and saw it because we were making fun of it, or we were loving it. And let me see what we got here.
But there's a limitation to that as well, because I didn't go see the newest Jurassic Park movie because the last few had been so bad. I didn't want to spend the money again. So you reach a point where you're just like, okay, enough's enough. I'm done.
And now I watch a couple of the online reviewers just torture themselves watching these bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only way I want to see them now, is because, well, I know they're already going to be bad. I'm going to laugh at this guy suffering. I mean, in along with them, not.
Yeah. Dash and I watched Christmas Vacation too. We say, try to top that. That is the worst thing you'll ever watch.
See, Nem, here it is though. I get it. That's kind of what I'm saying. When we were growing up, we had 4 channels. Then we went to cable, so we got 36 channels.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of but now kids now, and I think Argo brought it up too. Argo brought it up as well. Argo Comics, to piggyback on. Right, nowadays we have hundreds of streaming channels with hundreds of different movies on there. But even still, there's times where you can't even see what you want. But yes, have you seen it? No, and it's answered with no. But have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. The word of mouth is killing movies today. Nobody talks about it, or if they do, you get people who, for lack of a better term, want to politicize I'm too liberal or I'm too Republican to watch that movie or whatever. I can't stand that. That does not that's going to do nothing for your box office numbers, because I'm not. That's a whole nother movie, and I'm not going to get on that train. But I found the new Anne Rice series, AMC Plus. Didn't even know that streaming service that I didn't even know existed. I mean, there are tons of streaming services. Yeah, go ahead.
You can't keep up.
No, I was going to agree. I have Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and all these, and it's like I had no idea they released these movies out there. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't see Predator: Badlands from what I'm hearing about it, but
They
it's
Disney-fied
that
it.
might have been me. That might have been.
yeah.
But I didn't
That was
hate
a
it.
Dash review. Dash.
I didn't hate it, but you got the other. And the sad thing is, the Prey didn't get a theatrical release, and there's a movie that deserved a run in the
theatrical
theater.
release.
But when the last Predator movie was just unwatchable garbage, that they weren't feeling like Predator was a safe bet. And then the best Predator movie to come out in years, arguably the best one ever,
Right.
just got dumped straight to streaming.
Right. I will. That's a hill I will die on. That Prey is probably the best Predator
Really?
movie to come out. Yes.
I couldn't watch. I can't bring myself to watch it. If Arnold Schwarzenegger is almost killed by this thing, how is a little girl with a spear going
She
to
was
do
almost
anything?
killed by it. She yeah.
She was
killed.
almost killed by it. If it almost killed Arnold, it should have peeled her apart. I cannot suspend my disbelief in order to watch that one.
Have you seen the Madness? Have you seen the Madness channel? That's on streaming. Go check us out. I promise you,
Roku.
we're on streaming. Hulu, Roku, and YouTube. YouTube is
Mhm.
streaming thing. Go check us out. We're on there. It's telling, and Lori, I like this one, Lori. It's telling when the best things to watch are on streaming.
Yeah, Reacher.
I mean, that's what we said. Some of the best movies I watched last year were on streaming. They didn't come out at the theaters.
Yeah.
That's where they need to stop, though. If Hollywood wants originality back and they want to get butts in the seat and they want to make money, they need to get away from doing first releases on streaming
Yeah.
and get them back into the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized one good reboot that was made. Did you remember Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise?
Mm-hmm.
I think the TV show's better.
I'd say
I do
so.
too.
I think you're correct.
absolutely. The TV
I think
show.
that's one instance that I can think of where the reboot was better.
And I know it's truer to the book from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't read the books, but I've heard that the version that we're getting on television is it closer adheres to the books, where the other one, it's just, oh, Tom Cruise, he's a big star, we'll make him Jack Reacher. And from what I've heard, his
Jack
build
Reacher
is
is a-
completely wrong for Jack Reacher.
Jack
Yeah.
Reacher, 7 foot tall, badass, and nothing. Listen, Tom Cruise is my favorite actor, and I will fight anybody that comes at me. I will fight you, and I will, and we will have a duke out, because Tom Cruise is my favorite. But yes, he was not the fit for.
No.
And I can say, some people be like, "Oh, how dare you talk bad about a movie? This is the world we live in, where you're not allowed to talk bad about it." You listen, I can love something and still critique it. That's the problem we've lost. Well, Nem, anytime, anywhere, we can talk about it. And I just want to preface now that you're wrong.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
like
kidding,
this
Nem.
is not Star Trek by any means, but I still can't help but love the dang thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay to love something and hate on it, or
Yep.
Exactly.
to be critical of it. Argo Comics says television shows and movies are also now competing with TikTok dances and makeup tutorials. Today's shorter attention spans. Yes, we talked on that. We
Yeah.
are in a TLDR generation. It's too long, didn't read. We don't have time for it. And that's on them. That's going to come back and haunt them in the long run. That's a sad thing. Missouri Breaks was really good. 25K budget. You can watch it on the mat. Yes, you can watch Missouri Breaks on the Roku channel. Very good. See, we even got our in-show promoter on here. And yes, they miscast Reacher when they hired Tom Cruise. Yes, agreed. Tom is the that is not true. Pops, not true. We can talk about that too offline.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm trying to get.
Can't catch me, day thoughts.
Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up on all these comments, and we'll get back to it. The thing with theaters is it costs you $200 to take a family of 5 to see a movie. At least it does here. My wife also loves that she can pee at home and will versus the movies.
And that's a lot of the wait for streaming mentality right there.
That's where
It's $15 per person at minimum to get your family into the theater, and your kids aren't going to be content just walking through the door. They're going to want soda, popcorn, candy, whatever that may be. And yeah, it becomes something where it better be fucking good when you just drop $200 for it. And if it's another, marginal movie, you're not going to drop that money.
Mhm.
And they do a thing in the local theaters during the summer where they play kids movies that had come out the previous year and they sell them for $5 each.
Yep.
And every theater is full, jam-packed, because parents want to take their kids to the movies, but they don't want to have to take a second mortgage in their house to do it. So when you get these $5 things and you can buy the whole summer's worth for like $20. And we did it every year with my girls, and we would pay $20, take them to, a movie a week, and they were somewhat recent, and every theater there was not an open seat. So parents want to. So the money is a factor. You're definitely right.
But the reason that prices are so high is because people are going to say, I can eat whatever I want and smoke whatever I want at home, Pops. That's why prices are so high at theaters. If people would stop waiting on streaming and get their butts back in theaters, we wouldn't be in the predicament we are in, and the prices probably wouldn't have skyrocketed as much.
Yeah, and then
are they going to raise? Yes, everything raises. Everything's going to raise in price, no matter who's or what's going on. Prices are always going to raise, but we wouldn't have made such a dramatic jump if we hadn't have gone to people going, I can eat and watch whatever or do whatever I want. And no, streaming killed theaters. I don't care what you say. Streaming killed theaters.
They were already dying. COVID just put the final nails in.
Put the nail in it. Streaming already killed it. Streaming already killed it.
Let me ask you then. Do you think it's because, again, like with movies, sports, now that the participants are demanding millions upon millions of dollars to be in them, and not only that, but then money on the back end, that they had to raise these ticket prices? In fact, if I remember right, the movie theater doesn't make anything from the ticket sales, only from the concessions, which is why a bag of candy costs you $27,000.
That's not true. They do make money. They just don't make as much percentage of that they do. You know what I'm saying? They're not. It's not 50-50. It's not 50 for the movie, 50 for the theater. The theaters did make a percentage. Was it great? No. So yes, in essence, yes, they were making all their money. The majority of their money was coming from concessions and things of that nature. So yes, but they were getting a percentage of ticket sales.
But do you think the ballooning budgets of movies are what caused the prices of tickets to go up? Add to it the fact that fewer people were going, and they're like, well, now we got to charge 18.
Theaters were already dying before COVID hit. COVID was the nail, but because you still were competing with Netflix was competing. We were getting movies before 2019 from Netflix. We were getting movies from Hulu, and we were getting movies from Amazon all before COVID kicked off. I know people want to blame that, but the streaming services were doing it because they were fighting about the Oscars because Netflix wanted to have one of their movies up for the Oscar, and they couldn't do it because they weren't in theaters.
Right.
And so that's we were getting movies on HBO. Yeah, I understand that, but they weren't charging you a boatload to go watch it on HBO for 2 decades. I totally get what you're saying, Pops. But the majority of those movies were not big productions. Most people waited on HBO to get the releases a year after they were in theater.
That's the kicker.
They were waiting a year to get onto HBO to watch those movies. It wasn't 45 days. Streaming killed the theaters by putting them on. Yeah,
you pirated it. That's
now they just get broken Fire Sticks and watch it the next day.
There you go.
I mean, that's there's so many. I mean, Lars Ulrich is probably having a fit that somebody's listening to his music on a broken Fire Stick and he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But theaters, I like this is all right. Let's see. Theaters need to go beyond concessions into exclusive tie-in merchandise to drive people back to the theaters.
Well, they do that though. The popcorn buckets,
but
my daughter was really wanting to get the FNAF ones that came out, and they do them for a lot of movies, but Do they always succeed? No. We went to see Avatar probably a month after it came out. They still had Avatar buckets.
Yeah.
So for everyone that everyone has to get, like the Five Nights at Freddy's ones, there's an Avatar bucket that they're going to end up being like, here, just take it for free. Just get it out of our site, please.
And like Argo was saying, and I got to agree, because one of the reasons I went to this certain theater was because every time they had a movie, they would have, I mean, they had a full kitchen, they had a full bar, and it would be drinks and food themed to whatever it was you were watching.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was watching like Sherlock Holmes, it would be English themed food. That's where I first had my first Reuben sandwich, and I'm like, now I'm in love with these things because of that kind of experience. Ghostbusters, they had the Ecto Shot. They had some blue one. I mean, they were all good because I don't remember much of them. But that's the kind of thing theaters are missing, that they're not doing anything like that. And I think maybe they
pay Fandango, Lori. I'll just break a fire stick for you. You can pay me.
Yeah. Because I mean, when I was a kid, we snuck candy in because it was too expensive even back in the day.
Yep.
So I'd have a pocket full.
Yeah, it does
It will pause our picture for some reason. I have like 6 of the Venom comics from the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and a Castle Grayskull popcorn bucket. No kids are buying it, but every one of us will be eating our popcorn right from it. So they're trying, but I think it's an uphill battle.
Shut up, Nim. But, it could be that we have like 40 people watching us for the first time. We have like 40 eyeballs on us, which is really cool. And I want to thank everybody out there, all 40 of you watching. We appreciate you.
But I'm still telling you this would solve it so fast. Okay. I can fix Hollywood easily. And we said it earlier. Stop the damn streaming 2 weeks after. Let the only and I know there's going to be pirates. Discarding that. Yeah. Only have it in the theater for 3 or 4 months. Then you wait a few months. Let people. Lori said this to me about my books, damn it, and it still fits here. Make the people want it. Yes. They have to desire the thing, or they're not going to give a damn. Apathy is what's killing theaters, and it's caused. And I will say it's caused by streaming.
Yeah.
Make them want it instead of knowing that they're going to get it too easily.
Exactly. That's what I did with sex with. Never mind. That's Scott.
Let me ask you this: if streaming just stuck with like vintage and TV shows that they make on their own, just old vintage movies, nothing new, vintage movies and brand new television shows, like we said, like the Game of Thrones, like that. Would it be better? Would you watch more streaming, or would you watch less streaming, or wouldn't it change at all? So let me ask you this, Ed, or Chris. Go, Chris.
No, please.
Okay, Ed.
Yes.
Would you watch more or less, or would it change at all if streaming was just old movies and nothing new, just but new TV?
Watch on stream. I watch those all the damn time, but they're not. I wouldn't go to a theater to see them. They're not theatrical. So let Netflix focus on murder documentaries. The only option.
Can say it.
And I think if I watched it on streaming, the visuals in that way, so I don't need to see those on the big screen.
It might be basically.
And it brought up there is well, like last summer. Okay, last summer I really wanted to see Sin in theaters, but life got a hold of me. And it was well by that date.
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's why I bought Wizard Friends about all the books and stuff that are coming out. If I don't see the movie, if I didn't see Jurassic Park or Demolition Man or Rambo in the theater, I couldn't talk to my friends about it.
Yeah.
Now, I'll just talk to you about it next week when I get it on freaking streaming or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Carrie, I mean, that's kind of what Carrie was saying earlier is there's nothing to talk about because it's streaming kills word of mouth, I think.
Yep.
Because it's just gonna be like, well, it's gonna be on Disney Plus in 5 days.
Yeah.
I don't need to go see it.
And I mean, and what you're buying the Blu-ray, Chris, that's rare. Most people aren't doing that. They're just gonna get it with part of their monthly subscription fee. You're still kind of not the norm, and I'm the same way. If I love it, I will buy it and own it because I don't want them tinkering with it later on when they decide, oh, you know what, we don't like this scene, we're going to remove it.
Exactly.
Come and take it away from my physical disc.
Exactly.
Physical media always lives, whereas what's streaming, they can always tinker, and they may be doing it and not even telling us about it.
Well, they are doing it. They are doing it and not telling us. Yeah, they're doing it and not telling us. That's
yeah. So that's why you buy it, and they can never destroy what's on a disc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I think it's that idea, like you were talking about earlier, of FOMO. I'm not afraid to miss anything anymore, even though there's, like you said, I want to go see Masters of the Universe, Mortal Kombat. I want to see Street Fighter. Again, do I know they're going to be campy and stupid? Of course I do. But I want them to be campy and stupid that I can say, dude, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Or it's so bad, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Like The Room with Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Could be Lori. I'm going to answer Lori.
Sorry.
It could be. I mean, it could be Lori. It could be 100%. There are times when FOMO is good, and this is one of the times where you have to have FOMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agent Elvis just hit. Who in the heck is Agent Elvis? And we just got. Oh no, we're being spammed. Agent Elvis is coming. We're being spammed.
Agent Elvis is a show on Netflix.
I know. I know.
And it's great.
I never heard of it.
Being stupid. It's Archer starring Elvis, Chris.
No way.
How funny.
Oh yeah, you got to go watch it, bro.
I love
That's
Archer. I got to see it. Or like Bubba Hotep, right? That was completely a stupid premise, but I loved the damn thing.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
but you got Bruce Campbell. You got a good chance of it being at least watchable.
Yeah.
Even My Name is Bruce was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you just gotta have FOMO or.
Yep. I hate FOMO on Kickstarter board games because I feel like I'm missing part of the game when I don't get it. That I don't care for, but for this, I know I'm going to get the full experience, or at least the full movie, even if I'm not going to get to. But I want to see it in theater because I need to be able to either go with your friends, like you said, the Mallrats experience, or sit around at the lunch table or sit around like this and chat about it.
Yeah.
Yes. And no, Nim, we have not done an Elvis album.
It's
Thank you very much.
It's Nim. If you can give him $500, we might be able to get to do an Elvis album. If you give him $500, we might get to do an Elvis album. So take that into consideration.
Yeah, and
Uh,
don't be offended by what I say, because I'm sure I won't be that nice.
Yes, Carrie. Physical is better.
Mhm.
100%. Yes. Give me physical media
All day.
all
Yeah.
day long. No, she likes In the Ghetto, Pops.
In the ghetto.
She likes In the Ghetto. In the ghetto.
Because Jode is going to Vegas, bro. Viva Las Vegas. Because
No, she likes In the Ghetto.
This is
Go
Dash
fund-
Reading, isn't it? Isn't it? This
Go
is
fund
Dash
me.
Reading, right? Right?
Go
TortureEd.com.
Go fund
No,
me.
that-
Torture.
Honestly, you got the wrong thing. If you want to torture me, Dash knows how to
Yes.
torture me.
Yes.
You
Yes.
just throw some yacht rock on, and you'll hear me
What is
grumble the most.
We
But
want, yeah, yes, I want tangent time.
Yep.
Anybody out there listening, I need you to go start a change.org or GoFundMe to where we can have one Yacht Rock show per month on Ed's channel.
What
One
is Yacht Rock?
like
Steely Dan.
yeah.
and, what, like,
Do you
trying to
like
think of-
pina colada?
yeah, that kind of stuff.
No, I'm
Yes.
with Ed on that. No.
Thank you, Pop.
I'm
Yes, so someone's with me, but then again, you get someone like Ray who's coming on this week, and he loves to see me get very angry, so he would love to just see it at Yacht Rock. Cause the Joe Walsh nearly broke me.
I was trying, Carrie.
Cat
I was trying
Stevens
so
would
hard.
kill
I was,
you see what I'm saying? Some Cat Stevens that would just kill you. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Wait,
I'm getting.
Who's this
I-
gremlin that keeps popping in on our channel? Gremlin.
I'm gonna keep working on obscure stuff no one's heard of, because that's my wheelhouse.
I do have a
Oh,
question. Has the stream cleared up since I came in?
I don't
here?
know. We've
I'm
never
asking
seen.
people watching. That's what
Oh.
I'm saying. Has the stream cleared up
Not
in the
sure.
last
good
few
one,
minutes?
Ed.
I'm watching it on the Madness, but it's on my phone, so
Mhm.
I can't tell if it's good, bad, or otherwise, because I'd have to look down, and I'm not listening to it, so I don't know.
I was just wondering if it was because of the fact that I wasn't in the backstage and it wasn't actually going through my
I'm
system.
not sure.
So
I know, it
they
says,
said it's cleared up though, so
it-
that could be it.
Yeah.
All right, let's hope.
So this is a good one from Neil Sedaka. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a Neil Sedaka, but
You wouldn't, of course.
I would. Captain and Tennille, I definitely wouldn't mind a Captain and Tennille.
See, you guys can all just. You know what? You tune in
see
every week.
Argo, come back me up. We need some good stuff like that. I'm
All you got to
with
do is
that.
just tune in every week and keep requesting it, and eventually you'll break me down. But
I wonder
you
who-
come on this show and you try to run my other show. Where are you when I'm broadcasting? We were talking some good stuff about Neutral Milk Hotel, and we had no one there. Where were you last week when we were talking Neutral
Get him,
Milk
man.
Hotel?
You tell him, man.
Yeah.
You tell him.
You want me to
Nobody-
cover this? You want me to cover this bullshit? Well, come on Wednesday and tell
The
me.
best
to my
of
face.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh, I listen. I am down for some Hoff. Yes, there you go, Ed. I want that. No, I'm kidding. I wonder who pushes Ed's buttons more, Karen or Ray.
I don't
Definitely
know.
Karen.
No, I don't mind. You can come on and request, but I tell people don't come on and request and then not watch the show 3 weeks in a row, because then we're gonna do your album. And we did. We covered multiple people's requests who didn't bother to
Didn't even
tune
bother
in
to
when we
watch.
covered them. So you
mean-
gotta watch. You gotta watch and comment for a month straight, and then I will do whatever the fuck you want. Let's
we
go.
covered the Backstreet Boys for Lori, and she didn't show up.
Yeah, we did.
patiently
We
waited.
did Juanes, a Juanes Spanish album, and she did not tune in for the album she requested. So, like I said, you want us to do it? Let me see you commenting
We
for a
already did
month
that,
straight,
Taco.
and then
already
we'll have a
did that.
lot of fun.
I patiently waited for you guys to play the Dio album, Elf, and when you did, I was there.
Yeah, we know
See,
that.
but you're always there anyway. We know that. We have
No,
a schedule.
there's
and
some
we
of your
gotta,
shows
we gotta.
I ain't-
This is-
No,
build it
no,
around.
no,
This is
no.
the
I'm not
I-
saying we'll do it fast. We'll get it on the
wasn't at
agenda.
Taylor
this
Swift.
is-
I wasn't at a few of them shows you did, bro.
This is
Well, you have to set. You got to be there in the background as a just in case. But when
Yeah,
it comes
yeah,
down
that
to
don't
it,
mean the volume.
tune
down. I'm
in,
just saying.
show us you're a regular, and then we will consider what you have to say. But don't waste our time telling us what you want to hear, and then we don't see you next
and
week.
then don't watch it. Yeah, don't say
Don't
Yes,
tease
you
me.
do recall that. You like the Backstreet Boys. Don't lie. We know you got all their posters up
Oh.
on your wall. You wanted to
Can't believe I
hear.
was on a stream. Somebody even said Backstreet Boys.
You lost
But
them
no,
again.
Bye, bye, bye.
Ed makes a good point. Yeah, don't Bjork next. No, You know what? If
I don't
Ed
think
draws
so
the
either.
line, if Ed draws the line at Yacht Rock, I draw the line at Bjork.
I like Bjork, but I'm not gonna do that to Dash. We have our limitations. We don't want to torture her. I like Bjork. We can listen to Sugar Cubes. I like her early stuff, but
No, I kid. Bjork's fine. Yeah, I don't.
no,
Vancouver
I could
Master
do
of the
Bjork, but
Pancake?
next is a relative thing because we build our schedule like 8 albums at a time.
Yeah.
So next could get you in 2 months is when you
Yeah.
finally see. Because like
Yeah,
with Pops and Elf, it took a few months to get there because we had pre-done
yeah.
10 albums and we're already now we're running into the end of our cycle. So this is the time for your request. But like I said, let us see your face when you come on here. Don't come on. This isn't even my show. I'm just hijacking it. So you're trying to tell me what to do on a show that this is not even mine.
Hey, Lori, I got go onto my Facebook page and it shows all the hearts by generations. It shows all the hearts by generations. I need you to look at the Gen X one. All right, we'll cut it short. And what am I saying here? Killer Karen is coming for you guys. They'll just tease it. Yes. Yeah, so like I said, I don't think we barely even scratched the surface of what I mean. Yeah,
that's right. We can when you come back to Saturday Morning Comic Talk, we'll bring the subject back.
There you go.
And we've done this one on Saturday Morning Comic Talk a few times, but each segment needs to stay at about 30 minutes, so we've not even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So yeah, next time you come back, let's bring it back and talk about it again.
Let's do it. So before we get out of here, I've got a couple of things to show. I know, Ed, I don't think you have a Kickstarter going on right now.
Nothing at the moment. I'm going to have my pre-launch up soon. It's building it for Immortal Era 12. I'm just waiting on the cover to get colored so I have something to feature. And it'll be the new trade and issue 12. So you can pick which one you want. Do you want to get it all in one shot, or have you been buying the floppies and you need that?
Awesome. Well, I know my friend Chris, my co-host, has this right here. Listen, I hum that song 32 times a week. I hum that song.
And Lori asked, where's the next Immortal Era? It is being colored. We are in color process because I don't put it on Kickstarter till everything is done but the letters. So it's in color. She said she'll be done by the end of March. So we'll be launching in April. And yeah, this one is a wild one where both my editors, their comment to me was, holy shit, that ending. And one of the editors said he read it and he had to reread it again because the first time he just got sucked into the story. And I keep threatening this, that I'm going to blow up the world, and you get to find out what that means and see I was not lying.
And also, Nem is out there. I don't know exactly how many days Nem's got left, but we have Nice, very nice. And like Nem said, there is 1 day left to get on that Kickstarter.
I need to grab it. I need to get in
Go
there. And
jump.
Nim asked about Ontario. I'm not signed up for it yet because it's normally the weekend that I do Nashville. But since Nashville got new ownership, I don't think I'll be able to pull it off. So I will probably try to grab a table at Ontario. So there's a good chance you'll see me there in May.
Very nice. And that's all we got going on. We got one more thing. I'll bring up our show. Yep, here's our first impressions for Wednesday night. What are we listening to, Ed?
Fugazi, The Argument. And yeah, Fugazi, they're if you know them, you know it's gonna be a wild one. And I guess we'll have to break our political rule because they get very political on this album, but that's all right. Fugazi always does, but it should be good. If you're not here for the politics, you can be here for the buzzsaw guitar. So it's good stuff.
All right. Well, like I said, you can find us every Sunday here with Dash of Reading. We'll be back next week. The girls and I, Amber, Dana, talking our books and stuff. Chris and I will be back on the 15th. We got a good Kevin Davis, our good friend Kevin Davis will be on with us on the 15th. Who knows what we'll be talking about then. But check us out. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. The Meg, Madness Entertainment Group, on Roku. There's so many places that you can find all of our awesome, like you said, you saw a lot of our people here today. Lori, she's on every Tuesday morning and Thursday mornings with us on the video games. I'm getting Nim stuck in my head. With Gotham. We're in Gotham right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the Murder Hobo show. We're in Gotham. You can check that out on Thursdays. We've got action figures, drawing, comics, movies, everywhere. Find us on Pilled, all the different channels, you name it. The Bear Bros. I don't know who the Bear Bros are. You'll have to explain that one to me later. But there's so many different things for your enjoyment. Check us out on the Madness, Roku, Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter. I don't know them all. Find us, follow along with us, and we'll be back soon. Like I said, Ed and I will be back on Wednesday, and you can find Chris and I here every Sunday and with the girls. So check us out. Till then, thank you, Ed, for coming on. Thanks, guys, for a great show talking. Like I said, we barely scratched it. We're going to have to do another one soon. Until then, love one another, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
If you missed the live viewing of any Meg production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel